And as women, when we support each other, we are not simply supporting each other's lives, we're supporting each other's legacies. And that's the piece that's so powerful. When I'm supporting or investing in another female founder, I am investing in what she is going to do for the culture, for her business, the legacy she's going to leave, how that brand, if it's a CPG brand, is going to show up in people's homes. So it is all fundamentally important, and I don't think it's a conversation we should shy away from. I think it's one that we should really embrace together. Thank you, Meghan.
You know what I love most about Meghan? She doesn't preach empowerment. She lives it. That Fortune Summit moment wasn't just another corporate chat about women supporting women. Oh no, that was Meghan, Duchess of Doing the Work, standing there in flawless white, no notes in hand, delivering truths like a modern-day oracle. And when she said, "We're not simply supporting each other's lives, we're supporting each other's legacies," chills, literal chills, because that's not surface-level feminism. That's a masterclass in vision. Meghan's not talking about patting each other on the back. She's talking about rewriting the blueprint for how women build lasting power. Let's be honest, the world loves to romanticize the idea of women helping women, but very few actually walk that talk. Meghan, she's out here investing in it. She's funding female founders, amplifying their stories, and changing the entire narrative of what influence looks like. And notice how she phrased it. When I invest in another woman, I'm investing in what she's going to do for the culture. That right there, that's Meghan's superpower. She doesn't see women as competitors. She sees them as co-creators of the future. And that's why the establishment can't stand her, because she isn't asking for permission to lead. She's doing it anyway. You can't box that kind of confidence. You can't silence that kind of purpose. Meghan's out here turning empowerment into an ecosystem, where every woman lifted becomes a bridge for another one to cross. That's legacy building. And the timing of her words, impeccable. Because let's be real, we're living in an era where women are still expected to shrink themselves to make others comfortable. But Meghan shows up, all white ensemble glowing like celestial armor, no script, no fluster, just grace and intellect. She looks like the definition of calm power. You can tell she's not performing, she's speaking from experience. This is a woman who's been vilified, lied about, dissected, and yet still stands there saying, let's support each other's legacies. The restraint, the poise. Most people would be bitter, she chose better. And that's what makes her dangerous to her detractors. Because how do you destroy someone who keeps turning every attack into a teachable moment? Meghan's brilliance is in her refusal to lower her vibration. She keeps showing up with elegance and intellect, while the others keep flinging mud and PR spin. Let's also appreciate how she linked women's empowerment to culture and business. She said it's not just about emotional support, it's about shaping how brands, products, and ideas enter our homes and our daily lives. That's next-level thinking. Meghan's talking about women being the architects of society, not just its caretakers. You know what that reminds me of? The irony of the British tabloids calling her divisive, while she's literally one of the few public figures trying to connect women through purpose and legacy. The projection is wild. The woman is out here saying, let's embrace this conversation. And they're like, she's too opinionated. Excuse me? Since when did intelligence become offensive? It's giving threatened energy from the patriarchy and its PR puppets. Let's call it what it is. Meghan is redefining soft power. She doesn't have to scream, demand, or beg for recognition. She just exists in her purpose, and the world pays attention. You can't buy that kind of authenticity. You can't fake that kind of presence. And what I find so powerful is how she always centers legacy, not gossip, not status, not optics. She's playing the long game, and it shows. Meghan isn't just talking about what she's doing today. She's talking about the ripple effect generations from now. When she invests in a female founder, that founder goes on to employ other women, who then support their families, who then build communities, and boom, you have a chain reaction of empowerment. That's how legacy works. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it's quietly transformative. Meanwhile, the same people who criticised her for leaving the royal family are now stuck watching her thrive on her own terms, independent, respected, and unbothered. It's poetic, really. They thought they were ending her chapter. She just started a new book, and the fact that she does all of this while maintaining her grace. Whew. You can see the difference between someone who's desperate for headlines and someone who's building history. Meghan's focus is generational, not transactional. Let's not forget, she's not just talking theory. She's actively investing in women-led brands, mentoring female founders, and using her platform to highlight their success. That's not just PR, that's partnership. The irony is, the same outlets that spent years mocking her are now quietly writing think pieces about Meghan Sussex's influence on female entrepreneurship. Oh, now you see it? After all that noise, the impact speaks louder. What Meghan is doing here is what true leadership looks like. Not the kind that hides behind privilege and protocol, but the kind that says, let's build something lasting together. Because that's the thing. Legacy isn't about statues or titles. It's about impact. It's about who you empower, who you inspire, and how your actions echo beyond your lifetime. And Meghan? Her echo is already global. And here's the real kicker. She never once centers herself in these conversations. She always brings it back to community, collaboration, culture. That's the mark of someone who's secure in her own power. She doesn't need to prove it. She's too busy using it. So when Meghan says it's a conversation we should embrace together, she's extending an invitation to women everywhere to step into collective power, to stop seeing each other as threats and start seeing each other as legacy partners. And that's the kind of mindset shift the world needs. Less competition, more collaboration, less gatekeeping, more grace. Because at the end of the day, Meghan Sussex isn't just talking about women supporting women, she's showing us how to build an ecosystem where every woman wins. The headlines will come and go, the critics will keep shouting into the void, but the truth? The truth is that Meghan is out here making history the smart, steady, sophisticated way, with her words, her actions, and her legacy of light. So yes, she's a girl's girl, but not in the shallow, we brunch together way. She's a girl's girl in the we build empires and rewrite culture way. And that, my friends, is why Meghan Sussex isn't just surviving. She's setting the standard.